It's time for another Dice Tower review with Z Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at a card game called It's Mine. It's Mine here is a small drafting game for only 2 players that comes from Spain. And in it you are gathering a group of thieves and targeting specific locations, trying to make sure you do better at those locations with your thieving than your opponent. And then at the end of the game, if you have the most loot, you are the winner of the game. I'm going to give you a quick look at it, then we'll come on back and we'll see if it's a good game. All right? Here we go. The first thing we'll do in the game is figure out with which city we'd like to modify the playing deck. You can do Rome, Paris, London, or Barcelona, and each one sort of gives you a slightly different feel to the game. Some are going to be more confrontational, some are more about focusing on the economy of the game, some are a little bit trickier, things like that. So I'm going to remove the ones we're not using now. We're going to go with Rome, which is the one that the rulebook suggests for the first game. And then you're ready to begin. We're going to deal 3 places, 3 locations over which the players are going to be fighting. All right, and you have to make sure that at least one of them is one of the location-specific ones. This one, for example, being a Rome location. The other 2 are things you can find in any city, is the idea. The rest of these location cards are simply going to be removed from the game, and we won't need them anymore, and we're going to be focusing over these 3. The game is a drafting game, and we're going to be playing over several rounds as denoted on this card here. Starting from the top here, working our way down. Sometimes the drafting is for action cards, which are these. Sometimes it is for the thieves, which are these cards. So as you can see there, the first round, we deal 4 cards, as it says there, to each player. And then it tells you right there as well which of the 2 players goes first. In this case, it is the white mask player there, which I've put over here on this side, so it's going to be me. And so I'm going to begin. I'm going to take a look at my cards, and I'm going to play one out to one of these 3 locations. Each location can hold 3 characters per side. And in just a second, you'll find out also that each character can hold 3 action cards themselves. And so I'm going to play one. I'm going to say, I'm going to play this one here. As you can see, there's a lot of iconography in the game. I'm not going to go over all of it, of course. But suffice it to say, you are trying to control these locations if you can, because you're going to get some points out of that. And then make combos out of these. So for example, this one here says that for every brown card in this area, in this location, the arrow pointing down meaning my stuff, I'm going to get 2 coins there. So I'm going to play that there. And the reason I chose it to put it there, by the way, is because of this location here, which also has a lot of combos with brown cards as well. All right? So I'm going to do that. And then it would be my opponent's go to play a card. And they are going to play, let's say, this one. They're going to play it right here. And it says they get 2 of these coins right now. And later on, they might get points for blue cards. All right, I'm going to shove that in a little bit so you can see it. Once that's done, then my opponent and me, we're going to trade cards. And again, I draft one, play it out. I'll put this one here, get 3 coins. My opponent's going to play one. They're going to put this one here. Then again, we trade, play one. They'll put this one there. I'll put this one, and they get a coin for that symbol, I think. And then I'm going to put this one here, and I get a coin for that. And the last ones just get discarded over here on our side of these cards. All right? Then we go to the next round, which is for action cards. And it says we each get dealt 6. So 6 for them, 6 for me. And it says the black mask is going to start, so they are going to start. And they're going to play a card to one of the characters, one of the thieves. All right? And so these cards will have costs, usually up here in the corner, which is why you need to collect those coins. And they'll do something. They will, those masks that you keep seeing, by the way, tie into not necessarily winning the game, but controlling these locations. The symbol that looks like a big golden coin, That's points. But the masks, those are location control. And so, for example, this character here says that for any 3 cards at that location, I earn 1 mask. All right? This one here is a type of goods that I'm trying to collect a set off, and that's going to give me victory points. That flame symbol means I get to destroy something on my opponent's side. This one here says I get 1 coin, and then another coin for every green card I'm holding, which would be okay, I guess. 1 mask straight up for controlling the location. And of course, all these things, that gives me 2 coins. Of course, all these things have colors as well, which is all the combo stuff. So for example, I'm going to play this card. My opponent is right here to this character. Why do I want to play it there? Because this one above it says I get a point for every blue card. And this location, if I end up controlling it, says I get points for blue-green combos. So that's a good move. And it's 1 mask towards me controlling this. So that's that. And then this side is going to play. And I'm going to play, let's say, I'm going to play this one here, right here, which is 2 more coins. By the way, if you ever run out of these coins, there's a very limited amount of them set aside here. If you ever run out and you need more, you would take them from your opponent if they have more than you. Otherwise, you don't get what you would be entitled to. So I've played that, and we once again will switch. And they'll play from what I just gave them, I'll play. And we go back and forth this way until the very last card once again gets discarded. There's one that we don't play. And we go to the next round. The next round we would be dealt 3 thieves apiece. Next round is back to actions, and so on. At the end of the game, you are going to figure out first who gets these locations. And you turn it to face that player like so. All right? So let's say that this is how it ends up being, just for the sake of the argument. And then you count up all the victory points. To get ready to score, we flip over this card here, which has some scoring tracks on the back. You got a couple of cubes to track the tens place and the 1 place for each player. And then it tells you in the center what you're scoring. So gray cards first, which are these. Figure out who they face. Then the thief cards themselves, whatever victory points you make from them. Then after that, these cards, the action cards, whatever points you make from them. And then lastly, the art. And so 1 single piece, like the one I had a moment ago, somebody had it, like that symbol there, let's say that, is paintings, there's antiques, and then there's jewelry. If you have a single piece, it's 1 point. If you have 2 pieces in the same location, you have 3 points. For 3 pieces, which is the whole set, you get 7 points for that set. You score all of that, you take into account all the symbols, you figure out who the winner is, and that's it. Now, that sounds pretty simple, but there is a lot when it comes to these symbols, of course, in the game, though the manual does a pretty good job of showing you what it is you need to figure out. And so I'm just going to give you a brief glimpse here. I know this looks real busy, but once you play once, maybe twice, let's say, this is going to become fairly easy to figure out. And this is well done in the manual. So that's it. When I first heard about this one, I was very intrigued. It seemed like a neat drafting game. It seemed, and I heard, it was sort of like a 7 Wonders game for 2 players. And so I was captivated. Though I was certainly concerned about all the iconography and the symbology in all the cards. I can say about the symbology that it does get better, as I said in the overview. I think it's not as problematic as I was worried about. And the gameplay, I'll tell you right now, this game kind of came out of nowhere to really surprise me and blow me away. I think the gameplay is fantastic. It's quick, it's engaging, it's highly tactical, it's tricky. You can have a game that is very confrontational. You can have a game that is all about gathering money chips, these money chips, and utilizing them smartly. It's a very well done, clever, interactive drafting game for 2. And I really like it. The artwork is great, the theme is neat, the whole thing it has a great amount of polish and clearly has a lot of love and time put into it. It really, really impressed me. And so I would recommend this one for folks looking for a neat 2-player card game that offers something different, a tableau building game for just 2, for people who want a lot of variability in their 2-player card games. It's great. Now, I would not be put off by the symbols too much. They make sense very quickly, and the rulebook is very clear about that. So that was my main hang-up, and I'm saying it's not a problem, you know. That's all I've got to say. Really, really good stuff. The fact that they include 4 cities in the game is neat. They add a little bit. It's like a little bit of different flavor from game to game. It won't be an entirely new experience, and most of the cards are the same from game to game. But adding those specific cities in, like if you play Paris versus Rome, it's a little bit of a different game, and I like that a lot. So this one, boy, I really liked it. This one's going to get a seal of excellence from me. If you can find a copy of this and you enjoy something different and very interactive for 2 players, this is going to be right up your alley. So, seal of excellence from me for It's Mine. Fantastic game.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.